y'all. Welcome back to episode 11 of Vacancy at Vanilla's with me, your host, Vanilla. Come on, you know the deal by now. It's episode 11. Get with it or get lost. All right? No, I'm kidding. Don't get lost. Please stay. Please stay. Okay, we already have prepared a room for you. Your check-in is ready just right after I talk for a fucking hour and tell you guys what's been going on in my life. So, um, guys, a lot has happened. I am not the same woman that I was a week ago, back when I was young, dumb, ignorant, full of life, no grasp on reality. Just a young girl that thinks that, thought that she could try Ozempic, become skinny, have no repercussions. Boy, I was so whimsical. I'm a changed woman. Today is Tuesday. I took my Ozempic shot on last Saturday. For those of you who don't know, if you didn't listen to the last episode, I said, fuck it, I'm tired of being fat, man. Let's get on this Ozempic because I eat good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I sometimes every now and then I open my door and miraculously there is Domino's outside of my front door. I don't know how it got there. Sometimes it literally is just there. And what am I going to do? Not eat it? That's so fucked up. Like, I have to, you know what I mean? Sometimes I look at my phone and I get a notification that says, your Uber Eats order is almost here. Please give your courier, is that the courier? Courier, what am I, fucking French? Your courier, is that what it is? Please give them time to deliver your order. The fact that I know the Uber Eats message by heart is disgusting. But that sometimes I look at my phone and I said, who ordered Uber Eats? Who the fuck did that? Like, that's all I'm gonna say. But for the most part, like, I don't eat like shit, right? And I feel like it's just hard for me to keep weight off, especially like in the past few years. Like, I feel like 2018 me was like chef's kiss, looking good, looking great. I would really like to get back to that. And even then I thought that I was fat. And I'm like, damn, if 2018 me saw me now, she'd be like, damn, bitch, you really let yourself go, girl. So I just said, fuck it. Let's do some Ozempic. What's the worst that can happen, right? Well, baby, the worst happened. Let me tell you. I took the shot. I went to the clinic. So here's the thing. I go to the clinic. I think I brushed on it a little bit on the last episode. I don't really remember, but the doctor I was going to go to, the doctor like just didn't show up for the appointment. I'm like, okay, great. So then they rescheduled me. I come back. I go in. It's like new people working there. They're like, hey, we bought the clinic. It's not owned by the same people anymore. I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know. So they're like, yeah, so it's a different doctor. It's a different staff. Like, everything's new, but we're going to take good care of you. And I will say, this lady was very, very nice. She was very accommodating. Shout out to her. So I get on the little Zoom call with the doctor. The doctor was like, you're going to love it. No one has ever stopped from the side effects. Like, you're going to love it. Everything's going to be great. I'm like, great. Okay, I'm really going to push myself outside of my comfort zone because I am a little bit of a hypochondriac and, I have emetophobia, which is the fear of throwing up and the fear of like seeing people throw up. But I've been like that since I was a child. Before I even realized had anxiety, I have been afraid of throwing up. Like, ever since, like, I can remember, like, I could legitimately pinpoint it back to kindergarten. In kindergarten, there was this bitch, Mia. Mia, if you're listening, fuck you. Fuck you, dog. Don't remember anything else about her. She was just this girl named Mia. And every time that her dad would come drop her off at school, she would cry so hard that she would make herself throw up every single fucking morning. And I remember, and I'd bring my blanket to school sometimes. And I remember that I would just sit at the table with my head under the blanket, like twiddling my thumbs, like, and that's how my anxiety started. Cause that's what I dealt with every morning, in kindergarten. So, fuck you, Mia. You ruined me as a person. Now what? Now what? So that happened, and ever since then I've been like deathly afraid of vomit, and if I even feel a little bit nauseous, I literally like spiral. It's a whole thing, right? So if you don't know, the main side effect of Ozempic is Guess what? Nausea. So, I don't know why I didn't put two and two together. Like, I thought that it would be fine and I'd be able to handle it. That's basically, I was like, hey, how bad could it be? Right? Dude, they give you the shot and the needle is so tiny. It's like you don't feel, it's like the tiniest little thing. The amount of like liquid that they put in you is like a drop. It's so small. I thought they were going to take a big fucking needle with like a fucking full turkey baster's worth of like liquid and inject it into my stomach. Dude, it's literally a drop. I was like, oh, this is not, I'm not going to feel shit, bro. This is cake, right? So I do the shot, boom, bam. I'm a big girl. I'm so proud of myself, right? She's like, cool. We're going to send you home with 2 weeks worth of the Ozempic and you're going to do it yourself. And then in 2 weeks from now, you can come back and pick up your other 2 weeks worth. I already paid for the month. Okay. I paid for the full month. I said, fuck it. Who cares? And I said, put me on auto pay because it was cheaper if you put it on auto pay. So I go home that day. I'm feeling good. You know, a couple hours go by. As soon as the sun starts to set, I would say I got the shot maybe around 2 p.m. As soon as the sun starts to set, this like impending doom just like casts over me. And I'm like, something's not right. I start to feel nauseous. Another side effect is pissing out of your ass. So I did have a little bit of, you know, I boom boom. I had a little boom boom. So that was not fun. And then I just like, my anxiety made it like 20 times worse though, because I start to feel nauseous and then I start fucking spiraling and then I'm like, oh my God, I have a fever. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Oh God. So I'm spiraling. And then on top of this, when I spiral like that, in that moment, I'm like, I'm gonna feel like this forever. This is never ending. Nothing feels real right now. And I just felt like so like out of it. And I started like fucking freaking out. And it was more than just like the nausea though. It was like I genuinely felt like just impending doom is really the only way I could describe it. Just this deep like scary feeling and everything. And I felt very like sad and it's just this ominous evil fucking feeling. And so I call my mom, I FaceTime my mom and I'm crying and I'm like, I'm just so alone. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and I'm freaking out because like, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my life. I'm a very happy person. There's another person on the side of the camera with a gun to my head telling me to say that. No, imagine. I'm like, I'm really happy. No. So I will say I am an anxious person, but I've never really felt depressed. Okay. I've never like been someone who's like struggled with depression. Like I am very like grateful to say that because I know a lot of people that do struggle with depression. I'd say I just have like pretty bad anxiety and I never really like, I mean, everyone goes through phases where like you feel better and worse, but I've never really been one to struggle with depression. And in that moment, I was like, oh, this is fucking horrible. Like I just felt like so terrible. And so I call my mom, I'm like telling her that I miss her because she's on the whole other side of the country because I live in LA and my family all lives in Connecticut. And I'm like, I just miss everyone so much, and I miss my family and my friends, and what the fuck, and why? And I'm just like crying to her. I was like, I just feel like a crazy person. Like, why can't I just be like a normal fucking person who doesn't like overthink every single thing and is not like the biggest control freak of fucking America? Like, I feel like I have to be in complete control of every single situation, or I just literally spiral. The only reason that I haven't gone to visit my family in a little over a year is because I can't sit on a flight. I can't sit on a flight for 5 hours because guess what? If I want to get off, I can't. And then that's going to, in my head, that is going to turn into like a literal, like never ending, like, dude, I don't even want to think about it. Like, it's so bad. And this is kind of something that's like kind of been happening like more recently to me. And because I used to fly like a few years ago, like totally fine. Like I'd be a little anxious, but I would not be like freaking out the way that I do now. Like the last time I went home, the flight there was horrible. And then the day that I was going to fly back, I just called my mom crying. She was at work and I was literally just sitting at the house in Connecticut and I was just calling her crying. I was like, I can't get on the plane. I can't do it. Like, and so I haven't flown since because I'm like, dude, I don't even think I could fucking do this. So it's been a whole thing, and now I'm like, well, maybe I should like go call like get an appointment with a psychiatrist and get reevaluated, because your girl hasn't been evaluated since she was 16. And basically all that happened was I went in there because if for those of you who don't know, psychiatrists and therapists, like two completely different things, right? A psychiatrist is just like, okay, what's going on with you? And then you like tell them, and then you like start to like drift off a little bit. They're like, no, 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 I'm not your therapist. What? Just tell me what you need. Like they don't give a fuck about what happened. Like they just want to know what you're feeling, so they could just prescribe you something and you can get the fuck up out of there. So I was 16 and I went and I'm like, I just feel like I'm always dying and I feel like I'm always having a heart attack and like everything makes, she's like, yeah, baby, you have anxiety. Here's Lexapro. There you go. Go on your way. And that's it. I haven't been back to a doctor since, and I've been taking Lexapro for damn near 11 years now. And guess what? I don't think it's doing anything for me anymore. I'm like, your body becomes like addicted to it in a way. So if I were to stop taking it cold turkey, I would feel like shit. I'd have like withdrawals from the actual medication, but I don't feel like this medicine is benefiting me anymore. So I do think that I need to go back and get reevaluated. So mental illness reveal in a few weeks. We'll find out what's wrong with me. New medication reveal. I'm gonna have a new medication drop in a few weeks. So that's exciting. whenever I go to whenever I go to this new psychiatrist. So that's exciting. So can't wait to see what they're going to choose for me. But anyway, back to the Ozempic. So I took the shot. I start freaking out. I call my mom. And then Rachel, my best friend, she texts me and she's like, dude, why did I just cry for like the past hour? I feel like shit. And I'm like, dude, I feel like shit. Are we like, what's going on? Is this like telepathy or something? So then Rachel's been sick for like the past week, but she was like really sick and like she didn't know what was wrong with her. And she's taking all this medicine and like nothing's working. And she's just been like stuck in the house. I've been kind of stuck in the house because the first week of the month for the clubs is like horrible in general, but the first week of the year is like double horrible, right? So I just haven't really been going to work. I've been sitting on my computer playing fucking video games, and I'm like, dude, I'm literally rotting away. And it was just like everything, all of that combined just made me flip the fuck out. So Rachel was at, while I was freaking out, she was at a restaurant that was down the street from my house, just having dinner by herself. And she wanted me to come. I was like, girl, did you forget I just took Ozempic today? Bitch, I'm not hungry. And she was like, oh, yeah, you're right. And then she was like, do you want me to come over? So then she came over, but I'm like, I'm sitting like 20 feet away from her because she's sick, and then I don't want to get sick. Oh, my God. So she was at my house for like a good 30 minutes. We vented a little bit, and then she went home. And then I still was a little anxious. I like sat in my bathtub for like an hour, with the water in it, not just like in the empty bathtub. And then what happened after that? And then I tried to go to sleep. It took me a few hours to fall asleep. I put on Say Yes to the Dress. I don't know why. That was like the only thing that I wanted to watch. And I was like, these dresses are ugly as fuck. First of all, no shade, but I had like, there's really not been like, I watched like maybe 4 episodes, older ones and newer ones. And I'm like, you bitches have no taste. I don't know. But again, if I got married, I don't even know where the fuck I would start for looking for wedding dresses. We're not even going to talk about that right now. Please. We're not even going to talk about marriage. That's off the fucking table. And so then I've been like, I just have no appetite now. It just feels like Ozempic basically feels like you have the stomach bug 24/7. And I'm like, dude, how the fuck do people take this for like months on end? Like, I get it. You could lose a lot of weight on it, of course. And people are like, does it work? Bitch, yeah, it works because you don't want to eat anything. Yeah, it fucking works. Yeah, you're going to lose weight. But because all you can stomach is 3 saltine crackers and half a cup of chicken noodle soup. And then you're fucking exhausted because your body is like, where is the nutrients? And you're like, your body is screaming for some protein, and it's horrible. And everyone's like, but is it working though? Bitch, yeah. Because I've eaten crackers for 3 days straight. Because the thought of any normal food is making me like you can't. It just feels like you have a stomach bug. And I will say, this is day 4 now, and I do kind of feel like back to normal a little bit. I'm still like just not as hungry, but like I'm not feeling any nausea or anything. And If I were a person who just like didn't get in their own head, I think that I would be able to continue it and maybe just like lower the dosage a smidge and like slowly do it. And I think that it would benefit me. I think that I could like lose weight on it, obviously, but just like my brain being the way my brain is, I just don't think I'm built for something like this. And I thought that I could like challenge myself and like, I'm like, you can do it, you can do it. And I was wrong. And you know what? That's okay. That is okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay not to be okay. What's that song? Isn't that a song? It's like Leona Lewis or something. It's okay not to be okay, guys. And it's okay to admit defeat, okay? You don't have to like fake like everything's fine. Yeah, I'm totally fine. Totally good. Everything's I'm totally fine. Like you could just sometimes you just can't do shit and that's okay. Like fucking accept the defeat sometimes. Like take the L gracefully. Like I took my Ozempic L gracefully. And this is kind of embarrassing and I feel bad and I didn't even want to go into this, but I called them trying to get like a refund. I'm like, hey, can you guys like refund me for half? Because I didn't think that they would. I was like trying to be nice. And I'm like, can you take me off the auto pay? And I was like, what if they like try to fuck me and they don't take me off the auto pay, whatever? Because they were like, you need a 30-day notice, yada, yada, yada. So then I called them and they're like, because I emailed them on Saturday. They hadn't got back to me. And then I called them today and they were like, yeah, let us get back to you. And they like hung up on me. And I'm like, man, fuck this. So I went on my I went and I like changed my debit card because I was like, fuck this. They're not about to rebill me again. And then they called me back and they were like, hey, we can refund you for half of it and we could take you off the auto pay. We tried to refund your card and it's not working. Are you fucking kidding me? That's what I get for jumping the gun. That's what I get for not trusting anybody. So I was like, okay, yeah, let me just give you a different one. I still haven't seen the money back on there, but I'm sure they'll give it to me. And I'm like, man, I'm just taking L after fucking L this year. So yeah, I kind of had a little bit of a mentee B, a little bit of a mental breakdown at the beginning of the year. And if I remember correctly, my January, the first like week or two of January of 2023 was also like not good. And I remember being like, okay, can we like restart? Like, can we just like not count that? Like, it's literally only my third day out here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that good from what I remember either. And I also remember I went to Joshua Tree by myself at the beginning of January last year. So clearly I was going through it. Your girl just wanted to be alone in the fucking desert for like 2 days. So clearly I was going through it. So I don't know what it is. January is just not a good fucking month for me. January sucks. If your birthday's in January, that sucks for you. I'm sorry. My ex's birthday is in January. And speaking of him, he is in Tokyo right now. I don't know with who. He's with a girl, but I don't know if it's like one of his friends or a girl that he's like seeing. And he always talked about how we were going to go to Tokyo together. So fucking love that. That is so cool and sick. That is so awesome. I mean, even though I'm fucking mentally ill and probably would never be able to sit on a flight to Tokyo unless I got like, I mean, maybe if like, there was a way, I swear to God, if there was some sort of service, you know how like when you get like surgery or something and they put you under, I swear to God, if there was some sort of service that they can put you to sleep, wheel you into a plane, and I'm just like, they wheel you onto a plane, they put me in the seat, and they just like put the eye mask on me, and everyone just thinks that I'm just like asleep, and then Well, that's the thing. When you wake up off anesthesia, you're like fucking loopy. So, okay. So, I get off the plane. Well, I'm still asleep. They come, they get me, they wheelchair me out. I'm still fucking knocked out. And I start waking up like, I don't even want to be awake for baggage claim. Still have me knocked out for that. If I wake up, knock me back out again. Have me knocked out for baggage claim, all that. Even the Uber to the destination, you could keep me knocked out. And then as soon as we like touch down at the hotel or wherever I'm staying, then I could kind of wake up and I could like come off of it a little bit, come off the anesthesia. I would pay for that. I would pay for that. I swear to God, I would pay good fucking money for that, dude. Because for those of you who have never been under anesthesia and have never had like surgeries or anything, Because I've had 10 BBLs, so obviously I could tell you that what it feels like to be under under anesthesia. Just kidding. I've only ever been under anesthesia twice. It was when I got my wisdom teeth removed a year and a half, 2 years ago, and then I got a tonsillectomy when I was 16. And it feels, dude, it feels good. It feels great. And some people have like really bad reactions to anesthesia. They wake up like crying and freaking out, and like it makes them like throw up and stuff, and it makes them dizzy. Dude, anesthesia, I'm like, fucking what's up, guys? Like anesthesia makes me like, I'm like, fuck, like this shit, I'm faded as a bitch. Like it makes me so, dude. I understand why some people are addicted to drugs now, because anesthesia, man, that shit is different. That shit hits different. Damn, that shit is good. I need me some of that right now. Matter of fact, who can get me some of that? Is there anesthesia plug in the chat? Okay, let me stop fiending for anesthesia. Let me stop. But it feels good, man. For me, at least. For me. You wake up and, dude, I remember the first time that I ever did it when I got the tonsillectomy when I was 16. I remember like waking up and I was on this probably like most uncomfortable hospital bed ever. And dude, that shit felt like a fucking cloud. I was like, whoa, like, and mind you, no tonsils, like can barely talk. And that's like that's a rough surgery, tonsillectomy. If that's when you get your tonsils removed, guys, if you can't put two and two together. It's a rough surgery, especially to do as like not, because a lot of people get it done when you're like a kid. And 16 is like still pretty young to do it, but they say the older that you do it, it's like more painful. And that shit fucking sucked. And I remember the doctor being like, okay, we're gonna send the pain pills to the pharmacy. My mom was like, oh no, she'll just take Tylenol. I was like, girl, come on, I'm 16. What do you think, I'm gonna get addicted to benzos? I mean, hey, you never know. But my mom was like, no, she's not gonna take that. We're just gonna give her extra strength Tylenol. I was like, girl, you don't want me to be great. Like, what the hell? Like, let me just pop a little perk. Come on, a little perk 30 won't hurt. Come on, one perky. Can I just have one perky? Mom, can I just have one Percocet? So yeah, my mom did not want me off the perk 30, understandably so. She probably saw how I was feeling off the anesthesia, and she was like, oh fuck no, I'm not letting this bitch get none of that. Oh hell no. Maybe she saved me. You never know. I could have been a perky head. So I took extra strength Tylenol, and that shit, dude, it feels like you're swallowing knives, because they like literally rip your tonsils out of your throat and then sew it up. And then you could like reopen the fucking stitches if you're not careful. If you can't go like like you can't do that. You can't cough, like anything where you're like trying to clear your throat. You can't do it. It's horrible because you have so much shit in your throat because they just fucking ripped your tonsils out and there's like blood and fucking, it's awful. And then, dude, you want to know what wasn't the tonsillectomy was bad, but was the fucking icing on the cake. It almost was more painful than the tonsils for me. Is I remember like we're about to leave. I'm still coming off the anesthesia. And I can't really talk. They're like feeding me Jello and like apple juice and shit. And I remember like being like, at one point I had like my tongue out and I'm like, what the fuck? Like literally, I swear to God, that was like the first thing, because like I didn't try to talk. They told me not to talk. And then they were like, all right, we're going to get you. The nurse was like, we're going to get you discharged now. Okay. And I remember being like, my tongue is really swollen. Like it's literally how I sounded. And then she was like, oh, well, let me take a look. She's like, oh my God, yeah, it is really swollen. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck did you guys do to me? And I was like, what the hell? So basically what happened was, when they do the tonsillectomy, since you're like knocked out and you're just like, and all your fucking body parts are like limp. All your body parts are limb. All your body parts are limb. Thank you. But that's true. Your limbs are body parts. So, okay. Anyway, they go limp. So, like, your tongue is just like in your mouth. So, they get a thing and they, like, clamp your tongue and they're like, pull it out of your mouth so the doctor can go in there and fucking rip your tonsils out. I don't know what nurse had beef with me that day, But that what dude, if I could square up with that nurse to this day, I would take the opportunity. If I got the opportunity to square up with whatever fucking nurse was in charge of holding my tongue clamp that day, because that bitch was like squeezing it with the force of 1,000 fucking tigers. I was like, what the fuck? Like they were like, oh, whoever did that just really clamped down way too hard. And the bitch swole my tongue up to the point where like the sides of my tongue were like cut and like bleeding. It was horrible. And that itself was like just as painful as my tonsils healing. So I was like, great. So then for like another few days, I had like a swollen fucking tongue as well. And they put me on like a Benadryl IV. Like we were literally about to leave, and then they were like, oh, never mind. They put me on a Benadryl IV. I fucking knocked right back out. Because my shit was swollen. They thought it was probably like, I don't know. They maybe thought it was like allergic reaction or something at first, so they put my ass with some Benadryl. I was like, ugh, fucking knocked right back out. Yeah, so I don't even know where I was going with this. Oh, it's talking about like flying and shit and how I would pay for anesthesia. But yeah, anesthesia feels cool as fuck. And yeah, so no Ozempic, just don't do it. If you were thinking of doing it, don't fucking do it. My cousin even messaged me. She was like, damn, I was gonna do this shit, but not anymore. And then I had another one of my friends message me saying that she was on it for a month. She lost 9 pounds, but she was so tired that she like didn't even, she was like, I couldn't even do anything. That's how fucking tired I was. And that she passed out because it like messes with your blood sugar or something. You have to like keep an eye on your blood sugar. I don't fucking know. And she said it made her faint, and she's like, I never faint, and it made me faint. And then another girl I know messaged me because I posted about it on my close friends, and she was like, dude, I was on it and I lost 25 pounds, but it made my anxiety so bad. It made my anxiety so much worse. And then I got to thinking, because my ex, the one that's in Tokyo right now, he was on Ozempic for like a good like month right before he broke up with me, and like everything was like totally fine, and we were like normal and everything was like good. Like he literally asked me to be his girlfriend like a month and a half before he broke up with me, and then he was just like, when he broke up with me, he was like, I can't do this. Like I feel like a robot. I feel like everything I do in my life is a task, and I don't enjoy doing anything. And like I was like, okay. And then we broke up. But and I even remember being like, do you think this is a side effect of the Ozempic? He's like, I don't know. Like, I'm just like, and he's always been, he would tell me that he like has been depressed and like struggled with depression at like certain points in his life and shit. But I'm like, damn, that Ozempic, like, I don't know what the fuck is in that shit, but it does way more than just fuck with your stomach. Like, nausea and like diarrhea and fucking all that shit aside, it does way more than that, dude. I promise. It fucks with your brain. It fucks with your mental. So if you are mentally ill and you were thinking of trying Ozempic, I would stray away from it because it just doesn't seem to be doing good things for the mentally ill community. And even if you're not mentally ill, it might make you fucking cuckoo bananas. Rachel's going to try the rest. I mean, I have 2 more dosages of it left. I'm not going to let it go to waste. I'm going to let Rachel try it. She wants to. I'm like, girl, be my fucking guest. Hey, if you want to take the risk, go for it, girl. So I'm going to let her have the shit. She's going to be the next patient to we'll get an interview from her again soon, and we'll ask her. But Rachel is a tank, dude. I don't know what it is about her. That bitch is a fucking tank. Like nothing affects her. Like she could, I don't know what it is. Like nothing bothers her. Like physically, like she's just like eh. Like I'm so dramatic. I'm like such a fucking wuss when it comes to stuff. I'm like, my stomach hurts. Rachel could be like, yeah, I haven't drank water in like 7 days. I haven't eaten in 14 years. Like, and she's just like, yeah, I'm like, I feel fine. I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck? She's insane. I'm like, girl, how do you, oh my God, I don't know. She's like, yeah, I have like 109-degree fever. Like, it's whatever though. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but she's just like, she's built tough. She's built for tough, man. Some people are just built that way. But yeah, man, I miss my family though. I miss the East Coast. I do want to get on a fucking flight and go home and see my family. And for those of you East Coasters, it did snow this past week. Yay, the first snow of the year. I'm kind of sad I didn't get to see it. I like snow. The thing about me is I like snow like when it's happening and I'm like, oh, pretty cute. Love that. But then like as soon as like you have to like shovel your car out the snow and like you actually have to like go outside and do like adult things in the snow, I'm like, fuck this, man. But it is nice to look at, it is nice to like just do snow stuff, I guess. if that makes sense. But I do miss being back home, and I kind of, I was like reminiscing about my younger days, my glory days, and I remembered something because I actually was telling one of my LA friends about this more recently, and they were like, "You fucking have to talk about this on the podcast because this is like literally insane." And I'm like blanking right now if I've brought this up or not yet. And if I have, I'm so sorry. You're going to hear the story completely all over again, but I'm pretty sure that I haven't brought it up. At least in like the full, I'm like, maybe I've told the story on like TikTok live or something. Whatever. If I've told the story, your mama. Now what? Now what? Your mother. So, back when I lived in Connecticut, which is where I grew up, I, went I was basically in Connecticut until I was fucking 21, and then I moved to Boston. So I grew up there. When I was in high school, they did this thing, not affiliated with the school. It was called the scavenger hunt, okay? And those of you who grew up in Connecticut, who may be listening, you already know where I'm going with this. And you guys are probably like, oh no, she's going to spill the tea. She's going to spill the tea. Oh my God. Yeah. So if you were part of the scavenger hunt, you might want to click off now because I'm about to air your whole shit out. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to like name names or anything. But there was this thing called the scavenger hunt. I'm going to try to explain this to the best of my ability. It was not affiliated with the school. This was not an activity that had anything to do with the actual school that we went to. The school did not put on this event, okay? It was the kids at the school. It was like a tradition that was like going on for like however many years. I don't fucking know. So basically it was for the juniors. The juniors would compete in the scavenger hunt, and the people who organized and like did the scavenger hunt were the seniors who won it the year before when they were juniors, if that makes sense. Okay. So the seniors would make the list of the things that they had to do on the scavenger hunt. They would hand out, because this is before, like, this is like everyone like had iPhones, but it was like kind of like the first like 2 years, like first year or two that like iPhones were like cool, I guess, because I remember people started to get iPhones like in high school, when like the beginning of high school. So iPhones were only around for like 2 fucking years, like of it being like a cool thing to have one. And the rule was that you could not, because you had to prove that you did these things on the list, so there had to be video footage of the things being done. So they would hand out these like little camcorders that they would record the footage on, and I don't know if they had to like turn in their phones or if they were allowed to have your phone on you, but like you just couldn't take any pictures or videos on your phone, because then like you could like, if shit got leaked or whatever, like that would be bad. And you would record everything on the camcorders, and at the end of the night you would give the camcorders back to the seniors, and then they would like go over it, right? And the seniors would all be at like one of their houses, and they would all just like chill there all night and like fucking wait for everyone to come back with their scavenger hunt shit. You don't know the list until like the night of. So it's like, picture this in your head. Let's say there's like 5 teams of 6 people each. Each team is 6 people. It has to be 3 guys, 3 girls. One person has to be a designated driver, okay? And people like willingly, they like paid money to participate in this, okay? It was kind of like just like the cool thing to do. Me right here, I never did it, all right? So you can never talk shit about me saying that I did that shit, because I absolutely never did that thing, okay? I never did them. I don't know why. I was pretty crazy in high school, but I was like, man, y'all got me fucked up. I was not doing that shit. So there was like maybe like 4 or 5 teams, and these were like my friends that did it. A lot of people that did it were I'm friends with. And you get the list. Everyone meets up like in a park or something. I don't fucking know. In their cars. They all meet up. All the seniors are there with the lists. They hand out the list. It starts at like 7 p.m. on a Friday night, right? And you have until like midnight or whatever the fuck it is to try to do as many things on the list as you can. Some of them were just kind of stupid, like climb a fucking tree to the top. Some of them were like eat a can of cat food. I'm trying to think. Put a squirrel on a leash, or just dumb shit like that. Just is like stupid. kind of harmless, funny, like whatever. But then as the list goes on, and certain things are worth certain amount of points, okay? Then it was like, okay, have make everyone do a naked team shower. Someone come on someone's face and then have someone fucking lick it off, and then fucking just and it started to get, some of the stuff got a little fucking weird, okay? Shove a cucumber up your coochie, like the biggest one you could find in the grocery store. Like these are legitimate things that were on this list, okay? And then these people are just running around all night trying to do these fucking things. And it was just madness, okay? It was just literal madness. And people are trying to get like play-by-play updates of like what's going on, like what's on the list. And then people would like send around pictures of the list like as they got it. So we were like looking, we ended up getting a picture of the list and just looking at some of the things on the list and being like, oh my God, like Darlene is so crazy. But basically it was just a lot of like sex, coming, nudity, just craziness, okay? And some of the people that did this are like very like good Samaritan people that like have now just lived like very normal lives. And I think back to that and I'm like, damn, y'all were crazy for that. And what I always think, like, because when I first started dancing, and like word of that kind of got back to my hometown, people like shit themselves and they like were like, what, like what the people got like really like, I don't know, weird about it. I know that because some of my good friends would tell me they would be like out places and people would like my name would get brought up, and I'm like, damn, I live in y'all's head rent free. So just, you know what I mean, like stupid shit. And it wasn't always like bad stuff, but like my name would get brought up a lot, because there are a lot of people that live in my hometown that are just fucking bored. And I don't blame you, because it is boring over there. It is boring. So there are, and not everyone, because there are some people that live in my hometown and they're still like doing good and doing like cool shit with their lives and like whatever. But there are definitely a lot of people that live there that are fucking bored. And I don't blame you. So if you're bored, and you want to talk shit about me, like cool. But just know, you did the scavenger hunt, babe. You got nutted on for nothing, and it was recorded, and then someone else had to watch that and then judge it and give you the points, and then you all had to, and dude, there was just so many stupid things that involved like nudity, and then just like these poor guys had to come like 900 times too. I'm like, how did you guys fucking do it? I mean, like you're young, I guess, but I'm like, babe, you shoved a cucumber up the wazoo on camera just to say you won the scavenger hunt. And you're going to talk shit about me for being a sex worker? I don't think so. Babe, you're one too now. Guess what? You're one too. You're one too. Because I think the winners did win because you had to pay to, it was like a pay to play kind of a situation. So the winners did win something. Like they did win what the prize money, I don't know, it was a couple $100 or whatever. Babe, you're a sex worker. You're doing sexual things for money. You're a sex worker now. Congratulations. Welcome to the team. So I just always thought that was funny. Like back in the day when I first started dancing, I was like, wait. Y'all did the scavenger hunt and you're going to talk about me for dancing? No. Not so fast. But yeah, that's just something that happened in my high school. And isn't that just kind of fucking insane to think about? Like that they just did that shit. But then what was crazier was the next year, right? So then when we were seniors and the juniors were going to do it, the winners from, the kids in my grade that won, they planned it all out, whatever. But it was the first year that they were like, you know what? Fuck it. We don't need to do the camcorders. Like it's fucking whatever year it was, 2013. They're like, technology has evolved. We don't need to use the camcorders. Everyone could just record it on their phone and then they'll hand in the phone at the end of the night and then we'll go through it. Oh boy, was that a horrible fucking idea, because guess what? Videos got leaked of girls sucking and fucking. And they went around the entire school. And you know when a video gets sent so many times that it's like so pixelated and so tiny? Especially back in the day when like iPhones weren't as good. Like a video is sent like to so many damn group chats and so many threads and so many that it's just like this big and it's so pixelated. I remember seeing that like pixelated video of this bitch sucking a cock, and I was like, Yo, that's crazy. So all these videos got leaked of girls doing stuff, and well, guys too. But then it got back to the principal, okay? And then the principal was like, "This is done. The scavenger hunt, we no fucking more. If we find out that anyone is involved in this, none of you's gonna graduate." Whatever the fuck they threatened them with. I was like, "Ooh, see, this is why I never did that shit. No, 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 thank you." So then that was the end of the scavenger hunt. R.I.P. R.I.P. Stanford High School scavenger hunt. Uh, Good times, man. I don't know what to say. But I will say that I did participate in one thing. Is that this girl Taylor? She was a year younger, so she was a junior on the team, and we were all at a party while they were doing the scavenger hunt that night. So we were at this kid's house, and they were like actively doing the scavenger hunt, and some of the things involve like other people. You have to like find other people to do the things with, and one of them was cunt punt someone, which basically means like kick someone in the vagina. She was like, "Can I kick you in the vagina?" I was like, "No." She was like, I won't do it hard, just act like it hurt for the video." I was like, "Okay." She kicked me in the pooch, and man, that shit hurt for real. It hurt for real. And so I didn't even have to, I was like, "Oh man, that shit actually hurt." So that's the only thing. I just like helped them out, helped their team out, because this was the year after that my grade did it. But man, isn't that fucking crazy? There was so much nutty stuff that happened at my school. So much nutty stuff. Like, and then that same principal that was threatening everyone for like all that shit. There was a teacher that was a woman teacher that was having sex with a young child male student. And the whole faculty knew, dude. The principals knew, and like they knew. And they kept it on the hush because they were like, "What?" Like they literally fucking knew, and they kept it on the hush. And I don't know. I guess until the kid, like, I don't know if he went to the police or whatever the fuck, but they all knew, and then they all got fired. They all got fired, and I'm like, damn, it just kind of sucks because I feel like it went on for a long time, probably because it's like a thing where when you're a guy and it's happening to you, it's like it's more like you're like, "That's fucking, it's so cool, dude, you're banging the teacher." But when it's like it's the opposite, everyone's like, "Predator." I'm like, no, the bitch is a predator. Like, you can't just say it for men. Like, that woman is a fucking predator. She had kids, she had a husband, like all this crazy shit, right? And then this is also another kind of insane cuckoo bananas thing that I haven't really told a lot of people, but I'm about to air it out too. I'm just spilling a lot of tea today. There was this teacher, fuck, what was his name? It was like Mr. something with an S, but he was a social studies teacher. And he was like kind of creepy, and he had like kind of weird relationships with some of the girls at the school. And I just remember like it was just like a little uncomfortable. Like they were like, some of the girls would like go get him coffee, and like it was just like a little too like just barely like teetering on the level of like what's okay and what's not. It was just weird, and everyone would kind of talk about it, like how he was kind of like a little bit of like a creepo. And I remember one day, and he was like just like, he was younger for a teacher, not like super young, but he wasn't like old. And he just tried to be like that chill teacher, right? And I remember one day in class, he like had his phone, and it wasn't an iPhone. It was like some like fucking Motorola type shit. It was like a touchscreen one though. And he was like, "Oh, I can't figure out how to do this on my phone, like da 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 whatever." And I'm like, "Give me your phone." I'm like, because we were like, everyone was like cool with him, so I was like, "Give me your phone, I'll do it." He just handed me his fucking phone, right? So I'm trying to like fix whatever stupid setting it was in his phone because he's like a boomer and he couldn't figure it out. And a text message comes through, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm admitting to this." Hey, what's it called when something happened so long ago, and if you admit to it, you can't get what's that called? You know what I'm talking about? Alexa, what's it called when it's too long after a crime happened and you can't get in trouble for it? The statute of limitations. Too much time has passed since the crime occurred. Okay, statute of limitations, baby. Statute of limitations. All right, thank you, girl. Okay, she's still making noises over there. So I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one. So basically, a text goes through his phone, and I'm like, what was that? Let me just take a peek. See, from an unsaved number, because the text looked kind of juicy. So I'm like scrolling and I'm reading this thread, right? And it was like, I remember, I swear, dude, I swear on my life, strike me down if I'm lying. There was a picture of a tire swing that looked like it was in some like abandoned fucking park. And it was a tire swing. And he had sent the picture to the person. The teacher sent the picture to the person, being like, "This is our spot, LOL. Like, just at our spot." And I was like, "Okay." And then the guy was like I'm trying to think. The teacher was like saying something about like, and then something about Four Locos. Then the teacher said something about Four Loco. I'm like, Four Loco, what the fuck? And then the person responded back like, "Oh, ha ha ha, whatever." And then it was just kind of like little back and forth conversation from there. Just kind of like, "What are you up to?" Like, yada yada yada, whatever. And I was like, well, I'm fucking nosy, so I have my notebook open and I write down the phone number, okay? And then I give him back his phone. I'm like, I couldn't figure it out, whatever. Give him back his phone. And then later that day, one of my old best friends, I'm like, "Listen, this is what happened. This is the phone number. We have to call it. We have to call it and see what happens, okay?" And this was back in the day when people would like set up their own voicemails and be like, "Hey, it's Emily, leave a message." Like, that's, back in the day, people would like have voicemail set up a lot of the time. Or sometimes people would be like, "Hello? Tricked ya. Leave a voicemail." Like stupid shit like that, right? So I remember my friend Dylan's, his was like that, and oh my fucking god, it got me every fucking time. That shit pissed me off. I wonder if it still is. That'd be so iconic if that's still his voicemail. So we call the number, it rings, it goes to voicemail. The voicemail, it was like, I'm not gonna say who it was, but it was a gay kid that we knew that went to our school that was open. There was only a few openly gay kids in the school at that time, so I'm not gonna say who it was. And I was like not friends with him. I didn't like know this guy like at all, but it was this openly gay guy that went to our school, and we were both like, we were gagged the house. We were so gagged. We were like, "Oh, I know you fucking lying." I was just like, "Oh, well, okay." Well, and then that was it. And then nothing happened. And I'm like, "Well, what do I do?" I can't do anything. Like, I fucking went through the guy's phone. I can't believe I'm admitting this. Please, please, please. The police are going to come get me. Please. So I don't know whatever happened. I don't know what the fuck ever happened with that. But I do know that the teacher did end up getting fired for other stuff that I think was involving his kind of strange relationships with girls at the school. And then guess what? He went on to work at an all-girls Catholic school in Florida, I believe. So that's great. That's just great. So if he's still out there teaching, I hope he fucking isn't. And isn't that just so scary, though, that there are like lots of teachers out there that are like actually teaching so that they could like be in closer vicinity to children? Like, that's actually sickening. And same goes for the female teacher too, with that other one that I just said, that teacher was, and the whole fucking, the principal and everyone knew. Isn't that crazy? Dude, but a lot of crazy fucking shit happened at my high school. And like, I'll tell people stories and they're like, "What?" Like, and then people will be like, "Oh yeah, my senior prank was that we all like took like chalk and we like drew little pictures on the sidewalk. That was our senior prank." I'm like, "You want to know what our senior prank was?" People started throwing around balloons full of bleach. Bleach, like Clorox bleach. People were throwing balloons full of Clorox bleach around. Okay? That was what they did for our funny little silly little prank. Seniors, 2014 seniors, prank time. And then there was another prank that for the grade above us, there was this kid. I forget his name. No, I don't. I remember it, but I don't want to say it. Because he probably like works for the fucking CIA now because he's like a fucking genius. This kid was just like insanely smart for no reason. And he was like so like insanely like tech smart. Like, you could give this guy like someone's fucking name and he could find out like their social security number in like 40 seconds. Like he's just knew how to do everything and it was crazy. So I remember actually one time that I went to his house with like a few other people. I don't know why. I didn't really know the guy that well. And we were like in his basement and he had like 3 computers from the school in his basement. And I'm like, "Why? How do you?" He was like, don't worry about that." It's like, "What?" Like school computers he had in his. I'm like, "What the fuck?" This guy was just crazy but like super genius level, right? So he somehow he brought in a home phone, like back in the day, like a one that you would like have at your house, like this type shit, like a house phone, like a corded house phone. Or I don't know if it was a cordless one or whatever. It was a house phone nonetheless. It was not a fucking mobile phone. And I don't know how, but somehow using the fucking phone that he brought in and a computer or something, he was able to like hack the school's intercom system, right? And he started playing like stupid songs over the intercom system. But it was just like dumb shit. Like he would play like a song and then I remember the principal or whoever was on and was like, "Whoever is doing that, please stop. That's not like this is not funny. This is for emergencies, like whatever." And then like they would hang up and then 10 seconds later he would play like "Can't Touch This." Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun. And everyone was laughing and it was like funny, harmless if you ask me, compared to bleach balloons. So it was pretty harmless if you ask me. I didn't think it was that bad. And but they took it so fucking serious and they I don't know if they like suspended him for the day, but then there was like rumors that like the cops came and the cops put him in handcuffs. So then everyone rallied and everyone was like, there was like a chain text messages. I can't even believe these are like a real thing. Like these were like, this was when chain text messages were still a thing. So people were like sending around this chain text message like at 12:30 we're all going to go outside and rally and scream his, did I say his name before like 10 seconds ago? I don't think I did. If I did, I'm going to bleep it out. They were like, we're all going to rally and we're all going to like scream free his name. And so like people literally did. People were like running around outside and then like the fucking security guards trying to like get people. And I don't know how, but I was one of the people that got caught out of the fucking 103 fucking thousand people that were out there. 103,000. That's definitely a number. Out of the couple hundred people that were like running around like free him, free him. I got in trouble and I got Saturday school or whatever the fuck it was called. Yeah. So then I went to the Saturday school and he was there. And I remember the health teacher, she was like fucking talking so much shit and she was like, "You really think that you're smart, huh? You really think that you're that smart?" Like, and just fucking like nagging him. He's literally sitting there like doing the work and she is just in his face fucking nagging him. Like, and he was literally like, "Listen, lady, if I wanted to, I could literally like make a passport of you." And he was just like saying this whole shit. He ate basically, I don't remember exactly what it was, but he basically was like, "I could make a fake plane ticket right now, fake a passport, and get the fuck out of here, and no one would ever know." Basically, like some shit like that. And he ate her the fuck up because I know he could too. I know he fucking could. And then she was just like, I was like, "Ooh, he ate your ass up, Miss Health Teacher, girl, please." So yeah, so that's, I don't know, I just fucking deep dived into my whole high school experience. But yeah, a lot of crazy weird shit happened in my high school. That's like not even like just literally not even scratching the surface of shit that happened to me when I was in high school, but we'll talk about the rest of that another day. I did want to take a call today though. All right, let's take, oop, hold on, let me put the phone right here. Let's take our caller for the day. Vanilla's Villa, how can I help you?
Hey, Vanilla. I want to ask you for your advice on breaking up with a friend. Um, we've been friends for a couple months now, and it's just gotten to the point where it's a little too much for me. Like, we got into a fight the other day because I didn't want to hang out with her before I went to work. And she started yelling at me and all that. And, like, we got over it and all that, but I just know for some time that I've been needing to, like, leave this friendship in the past or like quiet quit the friendship a little bit, but she's very persistent and wants to hang out 24/7. And we do work together, but I did just quit my job there, but I don't know how to tell her I don't really want to hang outside of work anymore. Any advice? Please and thank you. Love you so, so much.
Okay. Oop. So here's the thing. Just off of that alone, I mean, again, I don't know you or this friend of yours, but just off of kind of what you're describing alone, it does sound like she as in your friend is kind of a little bit of like one of those, yeah, like possessive, controlling friends, kind of like a friend that thinks that they're like your partner in a way, like thinks that they're like your significant other. And it's like funny until it's not with people like that. And like me and Rachel always joke, like Rachel's like, if you're in love with me, just say that. Like I know you're literally in love with me. Like, but it's like an ongoing like bit that we have. And me and Rachel are not like up each other's ass to the point where like Rachel is like I like, and it's actually like me and Rachel like hanging out wise. We are not together. We work together. We're together at work a lot. But as far as like when we hang out, we're not hanging out like every day. Let alone there'll be times where we don't see each other outside of work for like a week or two, you know? And that's fine because we both have our own lives that when we do other things. And I still talk to her on a daily basis, but it's like just text back and forth, we'll call each other whatever. But Rachel and I like just I'm just trying to like compare and like past friendships that I have and other current friendships that I have. Me personally, I have never been a possessive friend. If anything, I'm like the exact opposite. Like my friends will call me and they'll be like, why don't you call me? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, I'm like, I know that you're my best friend, man. Like, chill. Like, yeah, you don't got to prove it to me. I know, baby. I'm confident. I'm confident in that. I know I'm the best friend around. So I would never be able to be friends with someone who like harasses me to like hang out with them or like gets mad if I hang out with other people, or not saying that this person does. I don't fucking know, but it's just kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Um like I just wouldn't be able to be friends with someone like that because first of all, get a fucking grip. Okay? I'm my own person, you're your own person, okay? We are two separate people without each other at the end of the day. Okay? Love you. We can hang out, cool, but if you want to be like up my ass every day, guess what? That is the first way to get me. Literally, I'm already out the door, babe. I already don't want to deal with that. That is just like that's too fucking much. That's too much. Um, Especially too when they're like a little bit jealous and like possessive of other things. I'm like, dude, like you are not my. Are you in love with me? Like, just do you want to kiss? Like, I don't know. It kind of gives that. It always gives that to me. I just could never be friends with someone who's like super possessive with their other friends. I just think that's kind of weird. And I think it's a little bit of a red flag, if I'm being honest. I think that if you are like that with your friends, oh Lord, I don't even want to know what you're like with your romantic partners. Cause boy, I'm scared. I am scared. Um, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I could be a little bit possessive sometimes. I can. Um, but like not like that crazy. Like I'm more like if I know that you're gonna like hang out with someone that's like not good news for you, or like I'll be angry in that sense. Like if one of my friends is gonna go hang out with like an ex that like is a piece of shit or whatever, then I'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like that kind of a thing, but never out of like jealousy that like you're not gonna like want to hang out with me because you're hanging out with someone else. Like I don't know. And I feel like with people like that, you have to just like there's no like going around it in a nice way. I feel like you just got to be like, girl, I don't want to be friends. I give the worst advice because I just feel like sometimes you just got to be there's a time and a place for everything. But I do feel like with someone like that, there kind of is no like nice way to go about it because I feel like they're going to try to make you the villain in that situation. Even if you are nice about it, they're going to be like, "Oh well, fuck me then, huh?" Like what no like I don't know. So I feel like if you want to bitch, if you want to pay me to be the villain, bitch, I'll be the villain. Where's the Joker fucking makeup, you know? You asked me, want to know how I got these scars? Like, bitch, I'll be the villain then if you want me to be like, I'll just say it. I'll be like, I just don't think that we're And people outgrow each other too. And sometimes you're like friends with someone for like a little bit and then you realize like, oh, actually, like I don't really like you that much. And that's okay. That's okay. Not everyone is compatible for that reason. Like sometimes you meet someone, especially at work too. That's a whole other thing because I feel like work friends, that's a whole nother thing. Like, granted, I met Rachel at work, yes. And a lot of my other best friends I have met at work. But it's like, and there's been people that I've met at work that I don't really talk to anymore. And there's some people that I haven't met at work that I was friends with and then I'm not. Like, people just outgrow each other sometimes and you just like have different fucking phases in your life and like fucking who cares? That's fine. But what I am scared of is people that like can't keep a friendship. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I've had falling outs with people, of course, as anyone has. But if you're, like, someone who has, like, literally a new best friend, like, every 6 months, like, oh, my God, you're the killer. Like, you're the killer. There's no need for that, you know? Like, why? Because now we have to dig deeper. Now I'm scared. I always, whenever someone calls in something, I always get so off topic with the actual, like, I don't even actually give a fucking answer. My answer, like I said, I think that you just need to be blunt and honest. I think you just need to be like, listen, this is how I feel. I really just don't think, like, I think you're just not someone I want to hang out with right now. I don't know. There's really no nice way to go about it. It's either you fucking ghost her or you say it like that. I feel like there's really your only two options. Because I feel like if you try to, like, beat around the bush and be nice about it, like, she's going to try to, like, make herself the victim in that situation. That's just what it gives to me in my past experiences. And I don't know. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for listening. And you know, it has been a rough week for me, and I hope that you guys had a better week than I did. That's all I can do. That's all I can do is just hope that you guys had a better start to your year than I did. And if you had a bad one too, welcome to the club, okay? We'll get them next week or maybe next month. Who knows? But everything will happen when it's supposed to happen. And that's all that matters, okay? So if you had a bad start to your new year too, it's okay. We can do it all over again. And time is just an illusion anyway. So it's fine. Everything good that is going to happen to us will happen when it's supposed to happen. So, you know, it's times like these that it makes me grateful for the times when I don't feel cuckoo bananas. So, yeah, that's basically it. Happy New Year. I mean, it's kind of a little too late to say that now, but, did you hear that? Sorry, someone just laughed outside of my door. What's funny? I want to laugh. What's funny? Anyway. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Your room's ready. Sorry, just had to ramble on again. And I'll see you next week. I love you. Okay, bye.